It's the internet. You're busy. Let's do this. This is Returnal for the PlayStation 5. I'm gonna play it for a bit. Get that hair out. Let's do this damn thing. This is a new save. This is me starting from the beginning. This is me agreeing and abiding by embargoes. You know what? Call me embargo boy, because I'm gonna do them embargoes just how they asked me to do them. Unlike some people, namely Mike Minotti, GamesBeat Reviews editor. Please don't punish me again with another Balan's Wonderworld, Mike. All right. So this is a video game. It is a new video game for the PlayStation 5. Pretty shocking. I think that's kind of an absurd thing to say. As someone who grew up, with the N64 and did not have another console, I know what a console game drought really is like, and this is nothing. This is nothing like that. There are a lot of games to play for this thing. This just so happens to be a big new first party game. Now I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna say, Jeff, isn't this a second party game? And to that I will say there is no such thing. Just like there's no like second person in writing or in terms of like camera positioning and stuff like that. Second party's not a thing. The PlayStation Studios logo opens up. This is a first party published game. It's made by a studio that Sony doesn't own, and that's what people use to say second party, but it's not. No one making these games actually calls that stuff second party. It is a first party game. So a big new first party PlayStation Studios release. That's worth getting excited about. So what is it? Returnal is a new game from the developer Housemarque. Housemarque is best known for stuff like Resogun and Super Stardust HD and arcade style games mostly. She just crashed. This game it's kind of a big departure for Housemarque, and at the same time, it is definitely a Housemarque game. It is $70. It is like positioned and sort of portrayed as a AAA game. It has the Sony behind the back camera, but it plays like a Housemarque game in terms of action and the way it feels. And then it's also a roguelite, which means that when you die, you go back to the beginning and start over. And now we're getting a network error, of course. Can we go online? Oh, right, because I'm a guest. All right, well, we're going to play offline. Not going to be able to show all those features. Okay. And it doesn't know that I like to reverse my stick. So we're off to a good start here, everybody. How am I going to do that? I will say these menus seem to take their time. Right, okay. Okay, there we go. So I don't have a gun yet. I just crashed. We're gonna see what's gonna happen here. I can play for 45 minutes. So let's see how long I played for 4 minutes. So we've used about 10% for total here. Is that how that works? Is that math? I play inverted, and that's correct. So I got chat here. We're gonna have to deal with these clowns. Am I right? So I don't know who I'm talking to, if not the chat. Okay, so let's take a look here.
I have found a deceased Astra Scout here. Checking identification on helmet. It's...
Oh no, it's herself. This is the only time you really find your body, though. Other times, I think other people find your body, and then it's like a online sort of feature for... either way, I was explaining this game. I guess the headline stuff is big AAA roguelite. We haven't had one of those before, and this game is $70. I think those are the big things most people are going to want to know about this. And then you got to say, okay, is it a good roguelite, and is it worth $70, even if it is? And, you know, I can't review the game yet. I mean, I'm in the middle of it. I haven't gotten past the first biome yet. I've been playing it mostly the last night and today. Oh, right, I'm supposed to shoot this thing. This is not something... Oh, maybe I have found situations where I'm supposed to do that, and I just forgot I'm supposed to shoot these lights. All right, I guess that we'll find out. But I will say that so far, I'm having a good time with it. So far, I think it's a good game. It turns out it's a Housemarque game, and Housemarque makes good video games. So I'm enjoying myself. But I didn't pay $70 for it. I got a code, and that I feel like it's going to be, when it comes time to talk about that, I think it's going to be a pretty contentious conversation for like myself, just like how I feel about that, going back and forth on that, and whether or not I should tell people to give it a chance. And I think it's gonna a big thing here is gonna be like, do you like roguelite games? Did you like Hades? And then then you're gonna have to ask, is it as good as Hades? Is it as good as Dead Cells and stuff like that? But my guess is this game's gonna find its audience. It's definitely gonna find an audience. All right, let's get through some of this stuff. Ooh. So it's got a lot of stuff going on.
Hostile fauna dispatched.
Like, for example, it has active reload, and it's taken... I'm still not like great at this active reload, because you can see the clip emptying out right there below the reticle, and now all of a sudden it's like it's automatically reloading. Automatically, you got to do the you have to do the active reload timing. But each gun kind of changes, and some guns it's easier for me to do the active reload than it is with others. And that just because, this one's okay. So I could see that. I understand that. And then now if I switch to like a shotgun or something, the shotgun's got like 6 bullets, and I'm no longer holding down the trigger. I'm pulling it, and I want to keep pulling it. And that means a lot of times I'm like pulling the trigger as the active reload starts. It's stuff that like you have to get used to. And then there's all these other systems happening where I'm not sure exactly like how worried should I be about my build? What about the risk rewards in situations where like you can get upgrades to your suit, but you have to take you have to take malfunctions to your suit as part of that? Should I be worried about that right now? Should I just be like trying to interact with everything so I can see what happens and find out what works for me? I'm in that stage with this game, and I think that's pretty normal for a roguelite, and I like that stuff. And overall, like, the foundation here, the moving around, the dodging, the running, the shooting, the aiming down sight to activate the secondary, the alt fire when you get to that point, which we should get to pretty soon. All that stuff is very good. So like, I think a lot of people are going to be willing to get through it. Let's get through this first section. This, like I said, new save. I had to do the new save. Embargo Boy right here. A very good Embargo Boy. Here, let's take a look at the map. Oh, okay. There's a dead end here. All right. Yeah, so this is the beginning section. This is not like most of the game is a little bit different than this. But let's get through here, and then we'll talk about maybe like where I think some people might run into a little bit of a roadblock. Blame Nintendo for inversion. I do blame Nintendo for inversion. Oh no, I was exposed, Natrick. What did I do?
Security system encountered.
I dashed. I can't remember if I could dash through these or not. Yeah, okay, apparently so. A little quick tip about the map. If you see a doorway on the map, like that blue door up there, that if it's square shape, you can see it over there on the right. Like, look at this stuff right now. Main path is rectangle shaped. Side paths are triangle shaped. It's like kind of just a good thing to know. If you want to max out your character before you go face the boss or something, go down all the triangle paths first. Yeah. Excuse me. So yes, you will have to start from the beginning. That's the intended design. And this game definitely feels in concert with Hades, where yes, you're starting from the beginning a lot, but the story is progressing as you're doing this. You are getting very interesting cinematic cutscenes a lot of times between deaths that set up the world and continue to make it feel interesting and different. And that stuff really works for me. When I first came into this room, when I first came in this room, I immediately shot this thing as well. And it's like, that's video games, right? In the real world, you would never walk into a room with a giant pulsating orb and then just immediately fire a weapon at it. But in video games, it's like, well, I could, like, the one thing I could do to this thing is shoot it. Let's see if that does anything. I guess, you know what? I should only speak for myself. Who knows? Many of you might immediately shoot the pulsing orb.
This could be the sentience that broadcasts the white shadow signal.
The white shadow signal.
It is impossible to escape.
So how is the DualSense feedback? I could talk about that. It's like most games. I think it's like most games. It's not Astrobot, but it's good. You know, see, it's raining, right? Normally, I must have it turned off or something because I'm playing on a guest account. But normally in the rain, it like does a lot of that like clicking, pattering sound that you get from the rain in Astrobot or whatever. And but for me, it's like I noticed that, and it's almost annoying because it just feels like this mechanical clicking in my hands. And then the rest of the time, it's much more subtle. But then I ignore it, and I think this is just me. I'm a big dumb animal, and I'm like this feedback I'm getting a lot of times. It's like to make me feel more immersed. I'm just so focused on other stuff that I'm not like, I'm sure like in the background it's adding something, but it's not making. It's not. Oh god damn it! This thing. Come on, that was cheap. So, as you can probably guess, you're supposed to die here. I guess maybe, it looks like I could maybe beat him. Oh, no, never mind. Whew. I was thinking, I wasn't trying to imply that it's like bad or anything with my facial features there when I was talking about the DualSense. I'm also worried about like speaking ill of the DualSense because no one wants to hear me say that. Everyone just wants me to say good things about the DualSense, and I think it's a good controller. I think people oversold the haptics stuff. It's haptics. It feels like haptics. I don't know, and so most of the time I just don't even notice it. And the adaptive triggers also just kind of annoying at this point for me. I love Astrobot. I did an Astrobot all the time. That was great. So I bet there are still going to be games where it does make a difference. But in most games I played other than Astro, just kind of annoying. So this is where you can like check your like what you've done in the world. I just died, and then you saw she crashed again, and now we could see okay, 7 hostiles eliminated, stuff like that. I had 1 death. Areas explored 11. Now we're going to go back out in the world and do it again. If the bitrate's looking rough on Twitch, I'm uploading a better version of this later. I'm recording at the same time. So hopefully that looks better.
The environment wasn't like this before.
The environment wasn't like this before. She's noticing that the world is different, and that is the procedural generation, which is, it is the lighter side of proc gen, I think, where these rooms are definitely prefabricated for the most part, and then they're just stitched together at the seams in different ways each time. And that is the proc gen. And for me, that works. That's just fine. I know, like, people are like, oh, I want an authored experience. This is still very much an authored experience. There's just some light remixing between each run to keep things fresh. We got a triangle door here. This is going to take us, this is, you know. Oh, except for this one, I never know what to do. I don't think I can go in the water yet. Because you go in the water and it, like, immediately, like, kills you and takes some life. And then you bounce back where you were. So MJ Kadim asks, when you die, you lose everything, or there's progress, upgrade stuff, or weapons stay with you. So you keep your handgun, but it's up, like, the upgrades. Most of the upgrades don't go with you. Most don't. If you get to a point where you are unlocking stuff that appears in the world, like dead cells, and that stuff is, like, permanently unlocked for you to then again find in the world. I don't think it so far that isn't working as well for me as it does in Dead Cells, just because the items look like this stuff. You know, these are collectibles for, like, currency kind of, and that's one thing. But the things that you are finding in the world look kind of like that as well. So they're not leaving a lot of imprint in my brain where I'm like, oh, I remember this thing. I can't wait to get to use it again, because now that I see it, I'm excited to use it again. I'm, like, still sort of vaguely getting familiar with that stuff to the point where I don't recognize most of these things when I find them in the world. So it's not very exciting to them finding them again. So far, again, we're in the baby brain zone. We're still learning this particular roguelite. So I've died 12 times in my main save. Oh, cool. I got my alt fire now. So most of the time you're going to want to, like, hip fire. That's this. And then when you aim down sight, you can alt fire. And it does that, and we just attack the thing. So this will be useful. Can't get that thing yet. That door's protected. So the red shield there on the big boy up there, this turret, you need a melee weapon to take down that shield, and your melee weapon is also permanent. We're still very much in an early tutorial phase here. Oh, okay. I can't get that yet. I think that's one of those you have to get with the melee weapon as well. All right, so a lot of rooms will be like this, where, you know, here's a teleporter. Once you could start teleporting, that's here. Something in the middle. Sometimes there's enemies, sometimes there's not. But I recognize this room. I've been in it a lot. Like I was saying, I died 12 times and I haven't gotten past the first biome yet. I feel like I'm close. I totally understand the boss now. The next couple times I'm going to probably beat him. And then I'll move on to the second biome, I think, permanently. I'm not sure how that's going to work, actually. So, does the combat get any different, or is it mostly just firing guns? I think so we're still early. But, like, okay, so this is a different gun, right? This is an assault rifle. I think it's mostly different guns. There's a shotgun, a handgun. There's this, maybe a few other things. But it doesn't feel like the difference between the bow or the guns in Hades. It mostly it feels like different kinds of guns, and that's fine. But you also get stuff like eventually where, you know, I'm dashing here, and then all of a sudden you'll get a dash that, like, has an electricity to it, so it doesn't attack as you dash. Again, like, that doesn't quite feel as nice as it does in Hades, which is, you know, one of the best games in the genre. So when I make that comparison, I think it's first of all, it came out last year, you know, into 1.0, so the comparison's kind of right there. But it's, you know, it's also like, okay, it doesn't quite reach Hades, but no game does, so that's fair. But I, you know, it's hard to, like, put these builds together in a way where like, oh, I distinctly remember how that build worked, at least, again, so far. to the point where it's like, okay, I'm going to try to go out there and get that build again because I know it works for me. I'm going to go out there, I'm going to shoot, I'm going to use my melee weapon in this certain circumstance. Using my melee weapon might cool down my alt fire faster, so I'm going to use that. This stuff does happen, it does occur, but most of the time, you're going to be in situations where I think you're just going to want to be firing the gun, and that's what you're going to be thinking about first and foremost. Yeah, so there is a melee. I think we might unlock it here near the end of this 45 minutes. And it's important. It's part of the... It's an important part of your tool set for sure. Okay, so these are malignant chests. You got to kind of risk it here. Ethers are the currency used to cleanse these if you want to like not risk it. But I don't have enough. And also, I'm still trying to learn exactly like what my risks are here. So we're going to see malfunction probability very high. A very high probability that when I open this chest, I will get some sort of malfunction to my suit. Now, let's do it. Oh my God, what did I just do? I dropped the controller. All right, so there we go. There's a malfunction at low integrity, minus 30% weapon damage. But if I collect an artifact, just one artifact, I can, get rid of this malfunction. But let's see what we discovered here. See if it was worth it. So here's an artifact. It's going to so that's kind of a weird one where like it gave me a suit malfunction and I'm immediately going to, I think. Okay, so it didn't actually undo it because it was like that's what it gave me. So maybe I'll have to find another artifact. I think I'm gonna go for another one. Hey, Norm 0101 and Almost Alan, thank you for the subscription, y'all. That's super nice. Thank you so much. All right, let's take a look at this. Okay, so now I can't pick up new weapons. That sucks, but we got to get a parasite, which I usually pick up parasites when I find them anyhow. So, and parasites also have this risk reward mechanic attached to them. So we'll get that and hopefully we'll be able to pick up a better gun because I'm not going to be able to survive. Well, this one's not too bad, but I still I prefer to have a better one. All right, I'm not going to take this third one. I think this is good here. All right, so we're going to keep moving on. We could take this route, and this will take us closer to our goal, which is there's a boss character, basically, that we need to fight in this zone to move beyond. These are, so this is inert, because I must not have the upgrade. This is stuff you'll just have on most of your runs. Right now, I haven't unlocked it yet, but once you unlock it, you'll always be able to use these teleport devices. Take the third one, you coward. I just want to I want to like make these runs count so that we can get to the melee weapons so I could show you all everything. Oh, that doesn't count. All right. The big boy up there. Let's get him. Oop. Oh, I went too early. Really focus on getting good at that active reload early on. Because you just don't want to be in situations where you need to reload longer than it takes, than necessary. That's when you're gonna get into situations where you will die because of that. Let's see. Fixes all malfunctions. Oh, let's do that. Wow, that was an excellent power up to get. So those are consumables. Right now, I can only carry one consumable. I believe I will be able to get more later. There are multiple slots available. Anyhow, when I open up my status, my equipment, yeah, right there, 2 are locked. So right now, I have to like choose between consumables or use one, then pick up the second one. And the consumables, I'm at a point where I'm like trying to figure out when to use them, when do they matter. Again, I'm still just trying to like learn this game still. Get the third one. Leave me alone.
The corpse of a sentient,
This is bullying.
indicating potential for suit augmentation.
Okay. Which one is this? I can't remember. Welcome to the internet, boy. Yes, it's got Alien Prometheus vibes, and it works. It works. There's a little bit more to that. There's some Silent Hill vibes, too. Absolutely. Silent Hills, specifically. And that stuff works, too. This game's got a really good style. Like, I think this presentation is worthy of a $70 price tag. I really do think that. It's just going to come down to when you go into this game and you die in that first boss and you're like, well, that's weird. It didn't let me save before the first boss. And then it hits you. Oh, wait, this is a roguelite. If you weren't aware of that, like, how are you going to feel at that point? Are you interested enough to be like, oh, I'll keep trying it. I'm like, I want to see how that goes. Or are you one of the many people who just don't jive with this genre as well, which is totally fair and reasonable. At a certain point, I'm going to be like, I think this is a totally viable genre, and I'm glad that someone tried to do it as a $70 game. I think that's worth our time to see if that works. And so far, I've been really happy with the result. All right, here's a third one. I'll take this one. Are you happy? All right, scan the item now. Okay, jumps create energy blast. You see how that's like this? Like, I can only carry one, repair a minor amount of integrity. I believe that's my health. And I gotta choose one or the other. I'm like usually not in a situation where I'm like, okay, 30 seconds of jumping around is gonna help me. Like, I haven't found the situation where 30 seconds of creating energy blast where I jump would really save me. So I'm like, not even okay. I'm gonna keep the other one. Maybe eventually I'll find out when this works, but yeah, it's so far I'm just not. These consumables haven't been too exciting because of situations like that where I'm like, I'm just gonna shoot them. I mean, everyone gets to decide if the price is fine for them or not, right? Like, I think this is, it's up to the game to win you over. And if you get easily frustrated with not making consistent progress or what you view as consistent progress, then that's fine. Then maybe don't get this game. I think that you're missing out on a very interesting genre that's got a lot of cool stuff happening right now, but oh well, then you miss out on it. What's the big deal? Oh well, I mean, that happens. Okay, so we're gonna go this way because that's where the thing is. All right. Okay, that's right. I have unlocked this, so now I can do this. This is my type of game. Yes, correct. You are correct about that. I've always liked Housemarque. Next Machina was a great one. I liked Resogun. I like Super Stardust HD. They're making some cool stuff, and now they're doing it with this sort of cinematic style and a narrative and sci-fi elements and almost next gen visuals. Yeah, this totally works for me. Okay, how much time are we at? 30 minutes. So we got 15 minutes left. So, oh, okay, here. This use consumables. I guess I could use my consumable and just like get rid of that, but I guess we'll do that before the next big fight. So here's a fabricator. You can, as you get stuff, you can build it here, or as you get like currency, you could spend it here to make stuff. Grants a huge amount of weapon proficiency. I mean, I honestly don't know what that does yet. I think I'll just do it. Suit artifact at low integrity, gain plus 15% weapon damage. Yeah, I just haven't seen what difference these things make yet. And that might be my biggest problem with the game so far. It's just not obvious what difference a lot of these things are making as I collect them or pick them up or use them. I mean, I guess it looks like there's more shit coming off my gun now, and maybe there's a shield out front. Was that from the weapon proficiency? Maybe that's part of being a roguelite. Like, you do this stuff over and over, and like you see what changes, and now like, oh, okay, if I do this, then that happens, and now I understand now I know like when I should risk my ooblets that I'm collecting in the certain circumstance to try to get an advantage in a certain fight.
Detecting a strange energy reading.
Okay, so this door right here is one you have to open with the melee, so we're gonna get that pretty soon now, I think. Leave me alone, you plant freak. All right, where are we at? There's also these guys that grab you. And you can... Oh, shit! That was close. I actually want them to grab me so I can get over here and get this thing. The DualSense feels good. It's not Astrobot. All right. So I've been through here, and I think this red door is like, this is like a challenge room. Oh no, this is like the end. This is the boss, I think. And we don't have the melee yet. Let's take a look around. So we do want to go to the left over there. Yeah, here it is. This has got to be it. Oh, no, it's just a different gun. That's fine, too. This big shotgun. It was easy. So the gunplay is an action game. It's like an arcade. Oh, cool, Parasite. Actually, I don't even think I need a Parasite anymore, but oh well. We're going through all the... They're giving you one thing at a time so you get like at least used to the idea. Again, very Prometheus, where she's just like, oh, it seems docile. Like looking at something that is obviously a parasite. Have you ever seen something that is more obviously a parasite in your life? And she's just like, dirt, it looks docile. I'm gonna touch it. Oh, video games. All right, so let's take a look. No, it's just a little buddy. So lose ooblets when suffering damage. That's the suit. And this is the parasite. So find salvage from hostiles more often. That's the benefit from the parasite. Reduce repair efficiency by 30%. Oh well. I like Prometheus because it's a movie where humans killed Jesus and Jesus was an alien. Well, humans killed Jesus in our stories too, but in that story, it's Jesus was an alien, and I think that rules. All right, let's get up here. There's some folks to kill. Ah! Wait, did you jump down, you asshole? Oh, come on. Oh, you're right here. All right, 10 minutes left. Ooh, another parasite. Sure, let's go for it. Yeah, parasites give you a bonus, and they also give you like a malignancy. They juice up your suit, and then they take something away from your suit. Oh, here we go. Here's a better weapon. Let's here. We'll talk about the weapons in a second. Let me get through. Let me kill all these dudes, and then okay, I think we're good. So here's a comparison. On the left is the one I have equipped. On the right is the one I just dropped. The star rating is like your easiest way to tell if it's better, if it's, you know, better or worse. And the star ratings directly relate to how many sort of perks they have. So you can see that the 1 star has 1 perk and it's in bonus damage. The Techiomatic Carbine has 3 stars, 2 of them are in bonus damage, 1 in projectile speed. I mean, at a certain point, I'm sure you're going to want to like look at this, but most of the time, if I see a 3 or a 1, I'm going to pick up the 3. If it's a 3 and a 3, I'll look at the I'll look at like how the stuff is charted out. But more important, I'm worried about like the kind of weapon. Like I like the carbine. I think the carbine is a good weapon, and then and then I'll look at the secondary alt fire and see what that is as well. And I that'll be like kind of second, and then like how the specs are dished out is kind of third on my list. Again, at least so far. All right. These vines you will be able to cut with your melee weapon when you have it. So what's permanent so far has been, I think. Oh, okay. Hang on. Let me do this room. This one is you see these green lines. Those green lines mean that there's like a health wizard over here, keeping all these guys from really being harmed by you when you fight them. So you got to take that thing out first. Oh, jeez, crazy. Come on, go. Hooray. Spitball blaster. I think this is the shotgun. Yeah. I like that, but I'm going to stick with the carbine. Bigger number, better gun. Exactly. All right, so Rogue Exu asks, so what is permanent game, what is not? It is like Dead Cells, where you are finding things to permanently unlock. At least that's been what I've learned up to this point. So you unlock stuff that you could permanently find in the world, is how I should put it. Where at a certain point through your run, you'll find something you've never seen before. You'll scan it, and it'll be like, oh, this is new. And then the next time you are more likely to find it in the world regularly. The other stuff that's permanent is your handgun, the teleport thing that we just found a little bit ago, and then your melee weapon once we get that. All right, so here, cool. We made it to the Silent Hills bit.
That can't be here.
Oh, we don't have the key though. So she's saying this can't be here. This is my old house. That's messed up. Someone shouldn't do this. This is upsetting to me. And I you know what? I respect that. That is upsetting. So let's try to run. You know what? I'm going to go fast. Let's try to get the key, the house key, so we can go in there and see what that's like. See if we can find that story. You leave me alone, big meanie. Sure, whatever. All right, area lockdown. Maybe we'll get the key from here. Maybe not. Come on, wake up. Come on, wake up. Oh, come on, I dodged that shit.
Appears to be another teleportation device.
All right, and I believe this is the melee weapon now.
A broken automaton. Clutching
Yeah,
potential tool.
I must just have. I think I must have the resolution set too high for the bit rate.
Appears safe to replace. Oh. Xenotype blade weapon.
So we got a space sword.
Adding to equipment for immediate use.
All right, now the door is locked, but we can just cut it open. And now, let's go find that teleporter thing. We will teleport back to this other door that was blocked that we needed the sword for. We have the sword now. So we'll cut through that real quick and hopefully get the key and then be able to go in the house, and then that'll be the end. I think it's going to be a big fight here. Maybe not. Oh, yeah. But we're going to run. Guess it might be just be sending me to the boss now. I thought we would be able to get the key, but... Oh, are you following me? Didn't help very much. All right, whatever then. Let's go for it. Let's just go die. Sorry, I just didn't see the question about the review date. I don't know off the top of my head. I know it's later this month, and it might be... It could be... I didn't sign an NDA, but it could be embargoed, and I'm not going to risk doing that. I mean, it's before the game comes out, so... Asshole. All right, we're getting down to the end of it here pretty soon. Yeah, let's do that.
A strange energy source is beyond this. It might be tied to White Shadow.
I mean, one day before is still one day before. This is out on April 30th, I think. All right, so this is the boss of this area. I don't have any health. I'm gonna die. Damn it. Yeah, one hit and I was dead there. Oh well. And then you get reset and you do this. So I don't know. I think the game's got style. I think the game's got a good feel. It is, if you like Housemarque games, this is a big Housemarque game, and that's exciting on its own. If you've never really liked arcade games, if you never have liked roguelites, I think it's going to be a risk to spend $70 on this. So maybe wait and see what some other people say. But yeah, that's my time. The embargo gave me 45 minutes. So that's what we could talk about. So I'm all for it. Let's come back here when I can talk a little bit more about it. I'll do a review of it on the podcast almost certainly, as well as a review on gamesbeat.com. So check those out. I'm going to get out of here. Thank you for watching, everybody. Until then, have a good one. Take care of yourself. Goodbye. Gotta hit the button.